This video, I wanted to have a little chat to you about me, what I'm going to be doing with this channel, and I wanted to give you a little bit of an insight as to why I made this channel, where it's going, what the purpose of it is, and my mission. About 12, maybe 14 years ago now, I started down a rabbit hole of self development. I started reading all the books, all the self-help books, the Eckhart Tolle's, the, manifestations, the secret, you name it, all the mainstream media kind of things, the self-help stuff that was out there, went in, dive into all of it. Endless podcasts, books, YouTube videos, all the knowledge. I couldn't really get enough of it. It was like, it was just an ongoing pursuit of me sort of like looking for something. And essentially, that's really what it was. It was me looking for something, because I always knew and I always had, this knowing or this inkling that there was more. There was more to the universe, but there was also more for me to come. I had this knowing that there was something sort of coming, but I didn't know what it was. And I was just, going down the rabbit hole of that sort of self-help route, which essentially then I was on that for about 12 years, came to a head when well, I will say as well, that gave me a really good, sturdy sort of backbone and knowledge of some of the principles of what we sort of learn as well when we go through a spiritual awakening. So I feel like all that information that I was gathering through those like 12 years of self-development work, it was leading me to a certain point, which was when I met my twin flame, and which was about 2 years ago now. I met my twin flame, and that sort of catapulted me and threw me into the spiritual awakening, which does happen with twin flames. Obviously, your twin flame is the catalyst for your spiritual awakening, and anyone that says otherwise, they're probably not a twin flame. So that catapulted me onto the twin flame journey. Obviously went through, the really hard dark night of the soul, had the kundalini, been through all those stages of the spiritual awakening, the processing of all your shadow, the shadow processing, all that stuff coming up to the surface to be transmuted, to be looked at, to be processed. That's all sort of come up for me through the kundalini, through the spiritual awakening, the expansion of consciousness, the unity, the unconditional love, the amazing spiritual experiences, the whole thing. It's crazy. It's up and down. It's around and around. The spiral goes around. It's really intense. It's really transformative. It's amazing. It's hell sometimes. If you're willing to face yourself head on, it's just the craziest ride you'll ever be on. And I'm so grateful that I was able to sort of be someone that got that opportunity. All I have is gratitude for the opportunity, and I don't know why. Obviously some souls come here, and that's what we come here to do, is to meet our twin flame or to have our spiritual awakening in this lifetime. So obviously that's what was planned for me, and that happened 2 years ago, and it's been wild and crazy and all that sort of stuff that I spoke about. So yeah, I went through that, and I feel like I've come out the other side now. Like I've had those experiences of oneness and unity and unconditional love, and just being present in the moment. My whole life is completely different if you look at it pre-awakening and post-awakening. It's complete night and day. it will turn your whole world upside down. You know, I've gotten out of a marriage, I've moved cities, I've, you know, become a single mom, I'm, you know, all the things. My whole life has changed. So just know that if you're listening to my channel, this is something that has come to me. This is not something that I've searched out and seeked out and been like, oh, I want to get on YouTube and you know, be a content creator or something like that. It's not that. It's this thing has found me, and now that I'm, you know, worked through all of my crap, basically, I've come to this place where now I'm being nudged in a direction to help others down this road, because it's hard. Like, I'm not going to lie, it is hard. So now I'm being nudged, like I said, being nudged in the direction to help others. This is not a natural thing for me to get on in front of a camera, and it's taken me a long time trying to come to this place. Yeah, what the purpose of the channel is to help other people going through the twin flame or spiritual awakening journey. Specifically, obviously, I am a twin flame, so I can help you go through that process. And you know, I'd be honored to help other people. I'd be honored to help you go through that process. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of background as to, you know, me, what I've been through, and you know, tell you a little bit about myself as well. I will give you a little bit of context as well as to what my life was like before the spiritual awakening, and it was, you know, your typical party sort of lifestyle, and I'm talking, you know, pre going through that sort of like 12 years of self development sort of stuff, and diving deep into all that. So previous to that, it was, you know, partying every weekend, drinking, going to the clubs, you know, doing all those things, and just, you know, hanging out with friends and doing all that. You know, it was just like, you know, your kind of 3D lifestyle, and then just going to work so I could sort of like feed that lifestyle to, like, you know, go, you know, hang out with friends and do all that sort of stuff. So I know that's not everyone's journey, but that was mine. And then entered into quite a you know, a toxic marriage that ended up dissolving once I had really gotten into the throes of the spiritual awakening. It was so repelling for me that I couldn't stay in that relationship. I had to leave. And ultimately, that was the best thing for me anyway, because it was, as I said, toxic. So, yeah, my purpose for this channel, as I said before, is to help as many people as I can go through this awakening, because we come here, if you're a twin flame, or if, you know, you're being spiritually awake, we're way showers, we're, you know, we're light workers, you know, we're made to do this kind of work. And it might not be, we're sort of made to help other people, so it might not be in this area for you, but this is what I've been shown to me as my path. So in this channel, this is my intent, is to help as many people as I can raise their consciousness, raise the consciousness of the planet. So do my little part. Obviously, I want to reach as many people as I can, but just doing my little part, you know, even if it's a couple of people, hundreds of people, thousands, you know, like, the sky's the limit. But even if I help a few people, that is contributing to, you know, the consciousness of the planet. Like, we can't take for granted, you know, that ripple effect. So if I help one person, then that person becomes more conscious, and then that ripples on to their family, their friends. You know, like, we can't really be in this mindset of, oh, I only helped one person or whatever. So anyway, I'm rambling a little bit now, but I wanted to give you some context into the channel, a little bit about me, and, you know, if this resonates with you, then, stick around. I'm here to help twin flames or, people going through a spiritual awakening. The content will be directed at that, obviously, spirituality, twin flames, and going through the spiritual awakening, because if you've met your twin flame, that is what you're doing. You're going through your spiritual awakening. That's it. Also, I would like to add to that is that this channel is not going to be woo woo, sort of like far out spiritual things, and there's nothing wrong with that. But what I really want to get across in this channel is the truth of who we are, and aiming to spread that word of, who we really are, when it comes down to it. Like, we're not the identities and the things that we've been identifying with our whole lives. And you will come to this realization as you get through your spiritual awakening, is that you're the soul. You are being led by your soul, the higher power, all those sorts of things. And that is my purpose for this channel. So I hope you guys stick around, and I hope I can help as many people as possible. And thanks for listening, guys.